The global economy is changing quickly due to emerging markets, which are becoming major forces in determining trade patterns, technology developments, and geopolitical alliances. Due to their advantageous demographics and growing integration into global markets, these economies are making a substantial contribution to the expansion of the global economy. In addition to changing established economic power arrangements, this change is posing both new opportunities and difficulties for both industrialized and rising countries. Here are 7 critical points that highlight how emerging markets are reshaping the global economic landscape. Number 7. Rapid economic growth. With estimates showing that they would account for roughly 65% of global economic growth by 2035, emerging markets are becoming more widely acknowledged as the main drivers of global economic expansion. A number of variables, including favorable demographics, fast urbanization, and massive expenditures in infrastructure and technology, are primarily responsible for this strong rise. For example, nations like India and Indonesia have continuously reported GDP growth rates above 6.7% each year, fueled by rising middle-class incomes. Global demand patterns are changing due to the growth of consumer markets in these areas, and multinational firms are making significant investments in local operations in an effort to take advantage of this expanding market potential. Additionally, trade liberalization and reforms that increase national competitiveness have made it easier for rising economies to integrate into the global marketplace. These countries' economic growth will only strengthen their impact on international investment and trade flows, changing the nature of international finance and commerce. Number 6. Demographic advantages. In the context of global economic dynamics, emerging markets' demographic composition offers a substantial advantage. With median ages much lower than those of industrialized countries, many of these nations have youthful populations. For instance, India's median age is about 28 years old, while the U.S. median is 38. Because a larger workforce boosts economic activity and increases domestic demand for a range of goods and services, this demographic dividend may result in higher productivity and consumption. In addition to increasing the labor supply, the expanding population generates a sizable consumer base that boosts industries like services, technology, and retail. However, in order to equip the workforce for the demands of a fast-evolving economy, sufficient expenditures in education and skill development are necessary before this potential can be achieved. To properly capitalize on this demographic advantage, governments must give priority to efforts that encourage entrepreneurship, vocational training programs, and educational changes. If this is not done, there may be significant unemployment or underemployment rates, which could hinder economic progress and cause social discontent. For emerging nations to experience sustainable economic growth, it is imperative that this demographic advantage be adequately utilized. Number 5. Technological innovation. Emerging markets are being able to surpass conventional growth pathways and improve their competitiveness on the global stage thanks to technological innovation. For instance, firms like Infosys and TCS are at the forefront of delivering IT solutions globally, making India a global leader in software development and information technology services. M-Pesa has transformed financial inclusion by enabling millions of people to access financial services through their mobile phones without requiring traditional banking infrastructure. Similarly, nations like Kenya have made notable advancements in mobile banking and fintech solutions. These countries have been able to circumvent traditional banking institutions thanks to the widespread use of mobile technology, giving previously unbanked populations access to financial services. Furthermore, emerging economies are able to increase the productivity and efficiency of their industrial sectors thanks to developments in manufacturing technology like automation, robots, and artificial intelligence. In addition to strengthening local economies, these technological developments make these nations desirable locations for partnerships and foreign investment in innovation-driven sectors. Emerging markets are rethinking their position in the global economy as they continue to embrace technology in industries like healthcare, via telemedicine and agriculture through precision farming. Number 4. Strategic trade relationships. Emerging markets now have more chances to bolster their positions in global trade networks as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic's impact on global supply chain reconfiguration. Multinational firms seeking to diversify their supply chains away from China as a result of growing labor costs and geopolitical tensions have successfully drawn foreign direct investment to nations like Vietnam. Vietnam's participation in trade accords like the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership and its advantageous position in Asia have made it easier for the country to integrate into global supply chains, especially in the textile and electronics manufacturing industries. The African Continental Free Trade Area, which aims to establish a single market for goods and services throughout the continent, is one example of how emerging markets are increasingly participating in regional trade agreements that improve intra-regional trade flows. In addition to boosting their own economies, these markets also help create a more linked global economy where goods may travel across borders more freely as they strengthen their trade ties through regional accords and partnerships. This change emphasizes the significance of trade policies that address issues with fair trade practices while fostering international collaboration and openness. Number 3. Resource richness. There are abundant natural resources in many emerging markets that can be used to boost economic expansion. African countries with substantial reserves that can propel export-led growth include Nigeria, with its oil reserves, South Africa, with its gold and platinum reserves, and Brazil, with its agricultural production. Furthermore, nations like Chile and Argentina are strategically positioned within the worldwide shift towards renewable energy sources, as they are top manufacturers of lithium, a crucial component for electric vehicle batteries. Although this plethora of resources offers chances for economic growth, it also brings with it issues of sustainability, governance, and environmental effect. Natural resource-rich nations are frequently impacted by the resource curse phenomenon, where a reliance on exporting commodities can cause economic instability because of shifting global market prices. Governments in emerging markets must put in place strong governance frameworks that encourage sustainability and transparency, while making sure that resource revenues are reinvested in the economy for long-term development projects like infrastructure or educational programs in order to reduce these risks. Number 2. Geopolitical dynamics. The complicated geopolitical environment in which emerging countries operate is marked by shifting alliances and strategic rivalry between superpowers such as China and the United States. These countries must manage sensitive diplomatic ties while pursuing their own economic goals as they look to increase their influence on the international scene. Southeast Asian states, for instance, frequently have to strike a balance between their alliances with the two giants, using Chinese investments while preserving close relations with the West to gain trade advantages without sacrificing their sovereignty or long-term objectives. Foreign investment flows may be impacted by this geopolitical wrangling. Therefore, developing nations must embrace adaptable policies that serve their own interests while promoting regional collaboration through groups like ASEAN or BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Additionally, by taking part in multilateral organizations, these nations can influence international policies that impact their development paths and express their concerns about issues like trade imbalances and climate change. Number 1. Sustainability challenges. Emerging markets are coming under more and more scrutiny for their sustainability and environmental impact as a result of the rapid economic expansion brought about by industrialization and urbanization processes, which are frequently accompanied by higher energy consumption. International stakeholders pushing for climate action through agreements like the Paris Accord, which aims to reduce greenhouse gas emissions globally by limiting temperature rise below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels by mid-century, or sooner if possible, as well as domestic populations demanding cleaner air and water, are alarmed by the tendency for industrialization to result in significant carbon emissions and environmental degradation if not managed properly. For example, Brazil's rates of deforestation in the Amazon rainforest have drawn attention from all around the world because of the consequences for indigenous rights, climate change, and biodiversity loss. Emerging economies must make significant investments in clean technologies, renewable energy sources, and sustainable practices in order to effectively address these issues. They also need to create laws that support sustainable development without impeding economic progress. This involves adopting the concepts of the circular economy, which aim to reduce waste production through recycling programs and energy efficiency enhancements in many industrial sectors. Balancing economic objectives with environmental stewardship will be vital for guaranteeing long-term success, so governments should emphasize green investments alongside social justice considerations when designing future policies aimed at supporting inclusive growth. Emerging markets will become more and more important in determining the direction of the global economy as they develop. So it is crucial that stakeholders from all over the world interact with and comprehend these vibrant areas. If you liked our video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel.